Hello everyone, welcome to today's Downtown Development Authority meeting on April 10th, 2025. I'm going to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance here. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. What we're going to do, we'll start down with you, Al, if you want to say your name. And then let's add to the business you're from or, kind of why you're in the DDA. So we'll go through that and we'll go down the line here. So go ahead, Al, whenever you're ready.
Al Pryor, BEDFORD TOWNSHIP Supervisor. Reason why I'm here, because I have to be here.
I'm Ryan Retzlaff. I am the Banking Center Manager of First Merchants Bank, located inside the DDA, here to just help develop the downtown area.
Dr. Gabe Coleman. I'm Lambertville Vet Clinic, which is within the DDA as well.
Brian Foster. I'm the manager of the Fifth Third Bank right in Lambertville, which is, again, in the DDA.
Lucas Diver, I Insurance. I'm an agent at I Insurance, which again is also within the DDA.
Philip Frizzell, last position, CEO of GKN Automotive in the UK, and I'm anointed treasurer of DDA.
Joyce Blanton. I live just outside the DDA, so I'm a general member. However, I've been on the DDA since its inception.
Awesome. And the only person we're missing today is Jason Jindo for the attendance here. Approval of the agenda. Got it right here in front of us. Did everybody get a chance to look through it?
Yep.
Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to make the motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting, April 10th, 2025. If I could get a second in that.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right, approval of the minutes for March 13th. So last meeting's minutes, I read through them before I got here. I didn't see anything wrong. They looked pretty good for me. Did anybody else catch anything that they saw? But they look pretty good. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes for March 13th
Second.
meeting.
Second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. All right, invoices. We are going with the very first one here. It is for Consumers Energy. There's no, there is an invoice number. Invoice number of 1009, and it looks like it's for the dollar amount of $103.70. This is the 3305 Stearns Road location. Looks like this is about average for what we're looking at here for compared to 2425. So I'll make the motion to approve the 103.70 to Consumers Energy for the invoice of ending in 1099. If I could get a second.
Second?
All right, voice approval. We'll go Al.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Gabe.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Lucas. Yes.
Aye.
Joyce.
Yes.
So moved. Perfect. All right, next one. Looks like Progressive Sweeping. Invoice ending in 2905. Total dollar amount of $350. This is their typical street sweeping charge that they give us, and it looks like, I know back in 22, 21, around that time they were giving us a fuel recovery charge that was much higher than what we are now, so it looks like we're kind of back on track with that.
Good.
And this has stayed kind of consistent the last couple months. So I'll make the motion to approve the Progressive Sweeping for $353.50 in the invoice ending in 2905. If I could get a second.
Second.
Voice approval, Al.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Gabe.
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
Lucas, yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Joyce. All right, so moved. Mannequin Smith Group, looks like we have the invoice ending in 0957 is the next one here, and it's for the dollar amount of $1,471.50. Mark, just looks like that's for you, Brad, and Lucy's time, correct? Is that... Sorry, everyone, this is Mark from Mannequin Smith.
Yeah, Mark Matthew, engineer with Mannequin Smith. Yeah, I know that it doesn't break out what the actual labor is, but on this one it would be preparation of the budget for the DDA, preparation for the notice for the informational meeting that we were planning to have, as well as meeting attendance.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for the explanation. All right, I'll make the motion to approve the $1,471.50 to the Mannequin Smith Group, ending in the invoice number 0957. If I could get a second on that, please.
Second.
Voice approval, Al?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Gabe?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lucas, yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
So moved. All right, and last but not least here, this is the video. As you all know, we are on video now. So that is being charged to us monthly for that. So it looks like we're going to have a reoccurring charge of $135 going to George Welling's video, ending in the invoice number ending in 2025. So this is just going to be our every month reoccurring for doing the videos up on YouTube and whatnot. So I'll make the motion to approve the $135 to George. If I can get a second.
Second.
All right. Voice approval, Al?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Gabe?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Lucas, yes.
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 Joyce?
Yes.
Jason, yes. All right. So moved. Perfect. So next on the list here, we have the old business. We're going to start with letter A, the informational meeting. It's just a reminder, the informational meeting at the township meeting 4:15, unless Al says otherwise, because we talked about it the other day, not happening. So we're going to push it back then.
Yeah, until we actually talk to Phil. The agreement's supposed to have been drawn up this week. Then it's going to be sent over to the road commission for their attorney's review.
Oh boy.
Then it'll come back to come to our board, and I think that's the best time to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to have two separate
Right.
agenda items.
I know you put it in the email, but what was the date? I forget. Like May 3rd or 6th,
it's May
maybe?
6th.
May 6th. Okay.
Yeah, that-
I guess I can look on my
That
calendar.
could be the possibility one.
It's a Tuesday, right? Is when they
Right.
Yeah, so May 6th. Okay. So looks like we're going to scratch that informational meeting on 4:15 because we got to add it to the agenda, right, Al, to
Right.
do so.
Exactly.
We're going to make that on 5/6 or May 6th of 2025 to make sure that we can do the informational meeting plus present the agreement and so on and so forth with that. So just kind of reminder on that, but we are changing the date. We're going 5/6 on that. So letter B, on to the next thing, is the update on the traffic light agreement. That kind of plays into letter A in this situation. So basically everything that Al just said, we're just waiting for the approval or for the agreement to get rewritten up, sent over, and then back to us. So it's probably going to take a week or two before we can get that in our hands. Anything else on that? Al, do you have anything, or does anybody else have anything to add?
No, that's all I had.
Right? I mean, no offense, that's the only thing we can do right now. I'm just waiting for that.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. Letter C on this list is Mannequin Smith update. So, Mark, I'll let you take the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really don't have much to update you on other than we've been working on getting the bid proposal ready for that traffic signal to go out for bid. I do need to contact the road commission and verify with them whether we are going to advertise it or whether they want to advertise it publicly. Obviously, the DDA is an entity that can contract for that work on your own without going through the township board, as I understand it. But it really is just a question, does the road commission want to advertise it on their website and through their normal channels, or would they be comfortable with us publicly advertising it the same way that the township is advertising a handful of other projects? But as soon as we have the blessing, or once we get that agreement finalized, we can get that out for bid.
Perfect. There's something I was just going to say and I drew a blank. I don't know. I'll come back to it if I think of it, but thank you. Appreciate your time. All right. On to letter D, the Linda Flick Memorial follow-up. Al, I know you had some good stuff last meeting, and
Yeah, I'm gonna pass these down, and at our next meeting, I'll probably have some pricing. But these were a couple concepts that he drew up. Don't worry about the wording, but these are a couple of the ones. The bench is pretty neat, actually, that he's doing. That would fit in real nice.
do we need to get him at a meeting, you think? Or
Yeah, we could. I can get him at our next meeting.
the next one?
And he can explain how he does it and warranties and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome if you could schedule him for that.
Make a note.
What's his name? Or what's the company? I guess I can probably look on this thing here. Oh, okay. Boulder Designs. Yep. Oh, I like that bench. That bench is cool. Yeah, that would be. I think that would look really cool over there. Yeah, if you could get him next meeting, then that would be ideal, because then we could probably finalize, wrap it all up in, I don't know how long it takes him to do it, but I'm assuming by mid-July, or mid-summer, I should say.
I'll talk to him.
Perfect. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yep. All right. I'll let you guys kind of keep passing that down.
Just a question. What were we planning on actually putting on there, the verbiage?
We can
to be
determine
determined.
that, or if you just want to, thanking those, and then we could add names down the road, or he could even do like a plaque, and then you could always take the plaque off and add the name too.
Oh, okay.
It'll depend on us.
Okay.
But-
Basically, whatever we want to do is almost
Correct.
he's able to do it.
But that would basically be a focal point.
What the,
Yeah, this, for example, the one with the bench, or would there be more than one?
oh, no, yeah, that would be it. I would just do the bench,
Just, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
add to it and
Yeah.
start with a list and then add to it from there.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, on to the last but not least of the old business here, the firework display follow-up. Jason, I know you called me about it the other day, so I'll let you kind of talk from there and let us know what you found out.
Yeah, so I've been dealing with the company that sets that up, and basically the price would be about $30,000 for about 1 hour's worth of the highest gauge fireworks that they have. And the problem with that is, though, we need a 400-foot clearance from any not livable area or occupied area. So within the DDA, there's limited places that we could do that. So we're going back and forth right now. The company has actually contacted the fire chief, and they're supposed to get back to me tomorrow and see what they came up with and seeing if there's any other venue or any other way they could. There's also different gauge fireworks. I guess I'm just learning about this now, but so for a 4 gauge, it's 400 feet. For a 3 gauge, it's 300 feet. 2 gauge, 200 feet. And so on and so on. But do we want to 2 gauges? From my understanding, 2 gauges stuff you can buy at, your local fireworks store. So we just have to decide what we would be okay with, whether there's a space that we could do it. So if today I'm planning on going over that map over the DDA and kind of seeing if there's any other feasible spots that we could do. And if there is, we have to get their permission and also make sure the fire chief is okay with it. We're meeting all local ordinances and state ordinances.
Oh, nice. Cool. Do they, sorry, go ahead.
Who's the company you're working with? Just so I can keep it for notes.
No, I was just looking, actually. Hold on. Give me 1 second, I will find it. It's out of like Portland, Oregon. So they're the same people that do the fireworks display in the quarry in Perrysburg. So that's where I got the contact from. I will tell you exactly what the name of the company is. Sorry. I'll have to get back to you on that. As soon as I see it, I'll let you know. I just don't want to scroll here until I can find it. But the person I'm dealing with is Chad. I'm not sure what the name of his company is right now. You guys have any questions about that?
No, yeah, that basic. So they're kind of like doing the legwork. I don't want to say for you, but they're reaching out to all those people and figuring.
Yeah, that's generally what this company does. They make sure that everything is in compliance. They make sure that it's doable. They make sure that there's no fire hazards. They set up the perimeter, and that's their job, is to make sure that all this goes off with no hitches.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice, cool. Yeah, let us know what you find out on that, and then I think, not to be that guy, but if there is no spot, we just have to let it die, right? Like, we have to let the idea kind of go away, because if there's no spot to do it, then
there is a spot, but from my understanding, we couldn't get them to agree to allow us to do it, right, Al?
That's correct. She won't do it.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Well, rather than let the whole idea die, though, I mean, maybe we look at something less spectacular, but still some sort of celebration that would not, involve the perimeter and so forth. Maybe we can
figure something out there.
Yeah, figure out something there that.
Maybe we could do like an ice cream social or something, and just buy all the ice cream or do something or whatever. We got room over there.
Yeah.
Well, there's that spot, next to American Table, that empty lot over there, but the clearance on that is about 300 feet.
Oh, boy.
So we could move to 3 gauge, but, I just haven't really, he just started working on it this week. I assumed we would be able to use that spot that me and you were talking about, Al. And, we just got denied that yesterday, so I'm working on trying to find another spot.
Yeah, I'd say do exactly what we're doing. Figure out if there's a spot. If there's not a spot, do what Joyce says, downgrade to maybe like a lesser of a, we'll call it a party, lesser of a party.
But we do have to figure it out now, because the only available dates that they have is basically the weekend of the 16th and whatever the weekend is after that in June. And then next year, if we do decide to do it as well, because it's 250th anniversary, they're almost completely booked up as well. So we'd have to make a decision on it pretty quickly.
Okay.
So by next meeting, if we're not ready, I don't think we'll be able to do it.
Right, okay. Yeah, so let us know when you get that info, if you just want to email all of us in that email chain.
Okay.
And then that way I know to put it on the agenda too, so that we'll put it front and center on the agenda to get it knocked out, or we can even, maybe have a special meeting if we need to and do it that way. So
Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks for looking into that. All right. So anything else on the old business? Anything come up while we were kind of talking there? Or spark your... All right. So next on the list, we're going to go to Phil over here. He's going to give us a little financial update of everything there, and then we'll finish out with the new business and kind of wrap it up from there. So go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Since this is the first time I've given a presentation here, I want to give a little preamble that says, really, as business-based people, we have adopted for the DDA an IRS attitude, and I use IRS try to be the eye to the improvement of the businesses within the designated area. Second, the R, to recognize our fiduciary responsibility and stewardship of every expenditure we approve, and the S being support and monitor projects to fruition for continued growth of the DDA. In addition, I want to note that we have the best professional help thanks to the financial expertise and methodology of Bedford Township's finance manager, namely Bob Miller, who ensures our accounts are in sync and balanced. So with that recognition, I want to move to the invoices. the totals for the March invoices were $3,004.96, and the ones that just have been approved in April invoices are less, $2,063.37. And as of 3/31/25, the balances in our two major accounts, the DDA Fund 248, that fund balance is at $215,261 and change. And the balance of the Fund 494, which again is our capital plan, labeled construction, that's at $1,358,274 and change. The additional, the annual addition to the DDA incremental funding to our budget occurs during this quarter. I talked with Bob, and we have not yet received the amount for this year, and it'll come anytime in this period. Last year it was received early in March.
Early in March. Okay.
Well, early, yeah. Earlier than normal in March.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so we're still looking for it, and that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right. As always, 8 brainstorm new ideas for the new business. I have nothing as of right now. I don't know if any of you guys, I mean, I think we got enough moving parts, unless there's something that, you know, we got the fireworks going on, we got Linda's memorial, we got the light, you know, with everything else that we do too. So unless you guys have something crazy that you kind of thought of recently. No. Good. Alrighty.
I think we need to like expedite the light. I feel like it's taking way too long. Like, what is the timetable on that?
Well, that's the problem. Tell me if I'm wrong, Mark. The longer we wait, the more expensive it gets with that. Yeah. Well, go ahead and go to the stand on that one. And
Yeah, that's the unfortunate circumstance. You know, there are notable material delays on the manufacturing process for these poles. I believe they're domestically manufactured, so I think that tariffs may or may not have a significant impact on costing, but I know in general, any purchases that we make are going to be elevated or have the potential to be elevated. One thing I should have brought up is whether, once we have the agreement in place, whether you authorize us to send it out for bid. Once we send it out for bid, it should be out open and available for probably 3 to 4 weeks, I'd recommend. There's a relatively small pool of contractors that does this type of work. So as long as we directly send it to those, chances are we'll have as good a bids as we possibly can. And then it's really just setting a timing for when the bids will be opened, leave a few days or a week to analyze the bids and check any references that we might need to, and then prepare a recommendation of award that could go before you, and just set that timing so that it works out with your upcoming calendar dates for your meetings.
So what we're doing is we're going to work out that contract, and hopefully it gets worked out, and after that we put it out for bid. That should be 3 to 4 weeks, and after that we should approve one of those bids, and then what would the timetable be after that?
After that, the last project I had, you might be looking at 4 to 6 months on obtaining the material, specifically the controllers and the poles. Hopefully that can be expedited, but that's really a question for the contractors. That's what I would put in your mind as an expectation, maybe not what will actually happen.
Do we put up the poles and everything else other than the lights before, do we start on that, or are we just, we're going to wait until we have all materials secured to start the project?
Well, the contractor won't order the materials until they have a signed contract in hand, which wouldn't occur until bids are collected. They come to you for approval.
The bidding process takes place, we pick a contractor. You're saying 4 to 6 months probably to get the project completed?
That's the issue.
4 to 6 months to have the materials on hand for the contract.
to get it started.
Yeah.
In a sense, right?
So the delay is just coming and not being able to get that material?
Those materials, yes.
Okay.
But you talked about a limited pool. Is that about 5 or less?
I would say 3 to 5. I can think of 3 for sure. There's probably another 1 or 2. The road commission is going to want to have a contractor that's MDOT pre-qualified. So that you know, it again reduces that pool. But
yeah, okay.
Okay.
So backing up a little bit, what I'm hearing is to expedite things a little bit is we probably should make a motion to inform you as soon as the contracts are signed so that you can actually start the process.
Put it up for bid. We shouldn't wait for another meeting. As soon as that contract is signed, we should put it up for bid.
I'd recommend once we have maybe one of the parties that's already assigned or approved that agreement, that we send it out for bid. I mean, realistically, right now, we're at our April meeting. It won't be ready for May. Right now, let's target having it on for approval at June and just back out those dates if that's amicable to you.
Well, what we could always do too, if we get our contracts back quicker and that type of thing, we can call a special meeting.
That too.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't take us long, but we could do a special meeting specifically for
Do you think we
that.
could get it? Al, what's the timetable do you think getting that contract signed?
Once Phil gets it, which was supposed to be this week, it'll depend on the road commission.
Okay.
I don't see them.
The road commission generally, it takes a minute to get it back to us.
Yeah, and then they'll probably have to go to their board as well. Make sure.
They have two meetings a month.
Yeah, so.
I think we should do, in my opinion, do the special meeting because we don't know when that's going to be. You know, we can't sit here and say we're going to make a motion for this, this, and this because it could be tomorrow that we get it back, or it could be next Tuesday, Wednesday, or it could be 3 weeks from now. You know, like we have no clue. So,
And if we get it like next week, then we could call a special meeting.
I mean, just by this project being held up, I mean, the cost has gone up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know, we really got to expedite it. We if we're going to get it done, you know, we should get it done now.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I say if everyone's cool with that, you know, you're going to find out, I think, first, Al, or whoever does, and then send the email out to all of us, and we'll try to find a date and a time within the next couple days after that email to, you know, even if I'm down for 7 in the morning, you know, if we got to get that done, let me know. Let's get it done, you know, whatever it takes. So, yeah, we'll call that meeting when we have to. You know, we'll wait for that time to come. So, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Just a reminder, like I had said before, if you wanted to, we can always advertise it. You don't necessarily have to accept any of the bids. You always have the option to reject them all. If for some reason, some element of signing the agreements fell through. If we wanted to go out for bid, if we wanted to send it out for bid now, we could. You know, it'd all be contingent.
Would that help?
I agree with Mr. Jindo. Anything that we can do to have
All right.
the process moving
It does make sense.
gives you an advantage.
But we have to set a certain time frame to allow for the bid, correct? So we still would have to have that time frame open after we accept the contract?
We would have to have a period of time that's acceptable to the road commission for it to be advertised for bid before you accept the bids and open them.
We would have it narrowed down in effect too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
That's not bad.
Can we do that? Are you guys
You can put things out for bid, just like what Mark was saying, because you don't have to take any of them.
right?
You could get them in and say, sorry, we decide we're not going to do the project.
Yeah.
Or the project fell through, whatever.
At least save some time.
We've bid stuff out before
Yeah.
through township, and we haven't done it.
only
You know what I
go
mean?
Right,
ahead.
like
Why
If
not
things
do it?
changed or whatever, yeah, we got to put
We
it
can't
on,
lose it.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
Typically, we have a period of time of 60 days from when the bids are opened that they're valid or held.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
so,
Like if
so a
it's
contractor can't back out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to bid the project, get the numbers, for some reason reject all the bids, then send it out again because you know, the contractors have showed their cards by that point.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'd say we do that like today. You know,
Yep.
like I'll make the motion to have Manick and Smith start the bidding process for the light effective, I guess, immediately. To
I'll
do
second
so,
that.
Yeah.
And
Got a
then-
second, yeah.
we'll go from there.
Subject to final approval by the road commission and working out
Right.
how we'll bid it. But
Okay,
in that
perfect,
process,
Yeah. So all right, I'll make the motion to have Manick and Smith start the bidding process, subject to approval, obviously, after everything's all kind of said and done here, to get that bidding process started for the lights going in at Stearns and Secor here. So let's do a voice approval on this one, just because it's a little here. So let's go Al.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Gabe.
Yes.
Brian. Yes. Lucas. Yes.
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So moved on that. So Mark, if you want to do your thing on that, and let us know what you need from us. Shoot us an email, call, whatever you need, just let us know. Thank you. That was a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, we've already talked about the brainstorm, the new ideas. Comments from the public. We have a couple public members here. If you guys want, you got 2 minutes to nothing? No?
I'm back here looking at what's happening with the street light, and I think I've heard all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sir, you need to go address the podium.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Carl Planica from Lambertville. I just was following up every few months to see where we're standing on the street lights. I represent a condo board at that intersection in question, and people are always asking me. So,
If you don't mind me asking, which condo board is it?
Aaron Court, American Table is Aaron Court.
Yep.
You drive right into our condo.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right across from Quail
Yep.
Hollow.
Yeah, that makes
Continuation.
sense. Cool. Yeah, so we're working on it.
Okay, you're talking about this DDA presentation on May 6th. What is?
Yeah, so it's a yearly informational meeting that we give, and I gave one last meeting for this group. So I always do it, or the chair does it for the group here, and then we do it at one of the board meetings every year as well for the township.
Oh, okay.
The reason why this one got pushed is because we wanted to bring the meeting, do the meeting, and then have this agreement for the light kind of all wrapped up so we could present it all in one thing. Well, obviously by next Tuesday that's not going to happen, so that's why we pushed it back a month. So,
Right.
but yeah, if you want to actually watch it, our last meeting's on YouTube, and I gave that meeting so you could go through and watch it. It's probably 5-10 minutes long. It's nothing
Great.
crazy. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and just to add something, that we do this under state law. The DDA exists under state law for tax increment financing, and we have several things we have to comply with in order to, meet the statute. So that is one of the things that we do annually.
All right, thank you, Mark.
No problem. No. Nothing from the back, Gail? Good. Comments from the board? Anything here? Nope.
A couple things. One is the review of the master plan is coming up, and I would encourage you all to attend those meetings. They'll be published, and you can have some thoughts, comments, and
Sorry, what meeting?
the master plan is going to be reviewed.
Now, is a draft available that we can see it before?
Oh, not yet. They'll be working on it. That's why it's being reviewed right now. There'll be a series of meetings and input from the community and taking a look, because master plans can change. Like, for example, most of you probably don't even know, in our master plan we have an area designated for a tech center, but I've yet to see a tech center. Okay, so maybe that area might be looked now better for something else, okay? Or there might be a piece of property that was residential and maybe now that looks better to be commercial. So that's where the review comes into play, to take a look at what's going on. If you didn't see the planning meeting yesterday, they made a recommendation not to split the property where the Archdiocese is on Sequoia Road.
Yeah.
It'll be taken to our board for that review, and then we'll vote to see.
How long is that, Al? How far away?
It won't be this meeting. It'll be the second meeting in May. I think that's the 20th. So it was not a very good plan that was presented. I mean, in terms they wanted to put a Dunkin' Donuts there and so on.
Yeah.
And there's other spaces within the DDA that it could fit.
Yeah.
So
Just a point, it was interesting there. We kept talking about wildlife in there. It was really weird because a number of us in Quail Hollow, right when that was going on, had deer showing up in our yards that we hadn't seen for 5 years,
Oh.
and everybody's seeing deer. And I said, even the deer are saying, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of wildlife when,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's springtime, but
across the street
Yeah.
too, because my father-in-law restored that whole ravine and put a conservation easement in there.
yeah.
So there's more wildlife that you don't even see.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
that
no
are
doubt.
floating around there. So, contrary to popular belief, all the wildlife didn't move to Toledo or Bedford or whatever. So that's where we're at.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else have any comments? We all good? All right. I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. I'll see you all on May 8th, 2025, 2 p.m., same time, same place.